Hi everyone, this is the look we're going for today, a fun pinky Valentine's Day look. When doing makeup, the most important thing to do is prep your skin. So the first step is we're going to put MAC's Lightful Softening Lotion on our skin. It helps to prepare the skin by softening it and getting it ready for the moisturizer that you're going to put on next. The moisturizer I'm using today is Bioxidea's moisturizer. I love it because not only does it hydrate the skin, but it really helps to blur any fine lines or imperfections. Next up, we're going ahead with Tarte Shape Tape. If you notice, I didn't put a primer on because the Bioxidea really acts as a primer as well. Blend out your concealer with a dense concealer brush. I'm using L'Oreal's Infallible Matte Pro Foundation today. You'll notice it's a little dark on my skin, but it matches my chest, so that's what matters. I try not to tan my face too much. So blend that in everywhere. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Palette, forehead, under the cheeks, and I like to slim my nose a little bit. I'm using a really dense foundation brush to go in and blend upwards. You don't want to blend down, it'll bring your face down. I also like doing it this way because it kind of doubles as a bronzer. Because I'm tan, I use something a little bit warmer than I typically would. If you're having trouble finding a contour color, I always say err on the side of cooler rather than warmer so that you don't look orange. Using Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade in dark brown and an angle brush, oops, you can't see it, I'm going to go ahead and start by drawing in my eyebrows from the bottom up. The hair is the most concentrated there, so that's where you want the darkest line. I draw the bottom and then fill in the top. I also do liquid liner this way. Small, light strokes are the way to get a natural looking brow, especially for people like me who don't have a lot of eyebrows. Look at this difference. Definitely better on that side. Always remember, eyebrows are sisters, not twins, so don't expect them to look exactly alike. Embrace them for what they are. Using a flat synthetic concealer brush, I'm going to go ahead and just clean up under the brows. Because I made them a little bit thicker today, I want them to be really nice and sharp for this look. I wouldn't do this on a day-to-day look though. Next, my favorite Laura Mercier setting powder, the translucent one. I'm putting it all over the places where I'd want to highlight, and then I'm using actually the Profusion contour palette. It's powder. I picked it up in the US at Marshall's. Really inexpensive, and I can't believe how amazing it performs. I'll write the details later on. So I'm just putting that over where my color contour is. If you notice, I put a little bit up on the cheekbones too, because like I said, I like to double as bronzer. And on the neck, of course, because it never gets as much sun as the rest of your body does. So I made a mistake and filmed it wrong. I had already put my base, which is MAC's Painterly, on, so I just gave you a little preview. So I'm actually using Coastal Scents Winterberry palette for this. I'm putting a light pink shimmery shadow all over the lid. I'm using a fuchsia matte eyeshadow from MAC. It's discontinued, so you can use any of the eyeshadows in the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, the Modern Renaissance, and you're going to put the pink in the crease like a windshield wiper, back and forth. And don't be worried about getting any on the outer corner lid or inner corner, because we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more in there to really make the center pop. So as you notice, I'm adding more really in those inner corner and outer corners. Pack that color on. Taking a pencil brush, I'm going even more so in the corners to really make that pink stand out. Of course, with a primer, the color is always going to stick to the primer and make it more vivid, so don't skip that step. I wasn't really sure how I wanted this look to end out completely, so I put a little bit of the leftover pink shadow under the eye that was on the pencil brush to see how I wanted to frame it. You'll see later on, I'm going to add a lot more with a blending brush to really give it some intensity. Whenever you put any kind of shadow under your eye, make sure you blend it out to give it that softness. You never want a harsh line. You always got to have a little bit of a dance party here and there. I have no idea what song I was singing along to, but I was definitely feeling it. So I'm just blending out and bringing it out, extending it to the outer corner. Don't pass where your eyebrow ends. It's a good rule of thumb for when you're doing an angled smoky eye. I'm using red ochre from the Modern Renaissance palette to intensify the red and pink in the outer corner, then taking black with the same brush and going and pushing the color into the lash line and at the bottom to give it a bit more of an intense effect. To really push that into the lash line. Smudge it out with your finger if you need to. Next, I'm using Vermeer. It's the most amazing highlight color, same palette, and I'm putting it on with my finger. When you use your finger, you get a much shinier effect as you're really packing on that color. So I'm putting it in the middle of the lid, and then I'm going to dab some in the inner corners. I'm using Crown eyelashes today. I'm using their eyelash and risk taker with the latex-free glue. So the key to putting on lashes is putting on a little bit of glue and waiting a little bit for it to dry. You can blow on them, you can do a little dance, which is what I like to do, but the key is getting it halfway dry so that when you put it on your eye, it doesn't slide around all over the place and you get eyelash glue everywhere. It really is as easy as you see it to be. My Maybelline Colossal Volume Mascara. Do not put any on your mink lashes, not necessary. I'm putting a lot on the bottom because the lashes are so luxurious and voluminous. I want to make sure that the look is balanced. Balance is key when doing makeup. You definitely need to have fun, but the symmetry is what's going to give you that really striking look. So you know how I feel about Kiko, love them. This is the #1 pencil. It's flesh tone, not white, so you get a more natural look, but still really open and awake. I'm putting it in the waterline. This pencil lasts for hours without having to be touched up. You can also put dark, but this gives it a brighter open effect. As I mentioned, I decided that I wanted to make the look a lot more intense, so I'm taking that pink eyeshadow with a soft blending brush, and I'm adding a lot more at the bottom and in the corner to draw it out. Next is a pearly pink blush. This is an Ellen Tracy blush palette. I'm adding it to the apples of my cheeks, and I'm blending upwards. I'm using a really soft brush so it doesn't deposit too much color. My favorite glow kit, the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm using the lightest color, and I'm really getting that up there and highlighting the top of my cheekbones. I'm also adding a little bit onto my temples as well, the tip of my nose, and on my Cupid's bow. I really wanted the effect of this makeup to be nice and dreamy and soft. That is it, my loves. Spray with your finishing spray, which is Skindinavia today. And this is your pretty pink Valentine's Day look. Hope you loved it. I love you guys.